You know, oh, yeah. And the majority of you vote on it, and then you're singled out as the one who. Dave McDermott. Mr. Dave.
Hello.
Hello. Preston.
Doesn't, oh, no, no, no. Yeah, a little bit. It's this. Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Rich. Looks like. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Steve and Rich and Rob. That guy in the hat there, is that?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Andy.
How are you?
I don't.
Good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
No. Good evening. Scott joined. How you guys doing?
Scott, how are you?
Scott.
Good. Thank you.
Hollywood Squares. Take Paul in for the block, please. You're the middle guy, you know? Yeah.
I think we have everybody. Okay.
Are you ready?
Start, yeah.
Okay, ready? Everybody ready? The regular meeting on the Vernon Township Municipal Utilities Authority, January 20th, 2022 will now convene. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this regular meeting was provided to the public and the press on December 27th, 2021 by delivering to the press such notice and posting same at the municipal building and filed with the office of the MUA as well as posted on the website. So stand for the salute to the flag. Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all.
We have two new members of the MUA. It's Snook and Ed DeYoung. The Rich Leonard, give them the oath, please, swear them in as board
Can
members.
everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Because just so everyone's aware, I'm having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues on my end as well, and I have a waiting screen spinning on my actual screen. So as long as everyone can hear me, that's all I need.
Hey, loud and clear.
Excellent. All right, so we have Edward Snook and the two members being sworn in, Edward Snook.
And Ed DeYoung.
How do you spell that, sir?
DEYOUNG.
Ed DeYoung. Okay. Who wants to go first? Ed, you want to go first? Ed Snook?
Sure.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ed Snook,
I, Ed Snook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
Board Commissioner of the VTMUA
Board Commissioner of the MUA
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. For the record, this is for the unexpired term. This term is that I believe Mr. Snook is replacing Mr. Fury and serving out the rest of his term, which term expires January 31st, 2022.
No,
No, incorrect?
yes, is not the one that's, not what it said on there. We'll look into that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's for the unexpired term. I've already spoken to council about it, so.
Okay. They gave it to me.
We're okay.
And-
It was an
and-
accident.
I'm getting you sit in the butt.
Yeah, where is it you?
Is it me?
By one of your knees.
Oh, I got big legs, sorry.
Thank you, thank you. We got the phone.
Sorry,
call.
I was tripping the alarm. The police just came in.
A dull moment. Okay, we have the second oath.
And
We don't.
Do we lose Rich?
Hello?
Rich, are you there?
hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yep,
yeah, we're ready for the second oath.
Yes. And Mr. DeYoung's term is from when until when?
That would be from January, well, it was effective January 10th, I guess, so it's tonight since the oath of office, through 2020,
I don't know.
2026. I don't remember if it's 2026, 2025. It's an unexpired term as well. I apologize. I should have looked it up.
That's okay. And it's for the
We'll make sure that
unexpired
the
term.
oath, yeah, it's either 2025 or 26, but we'll make sure the oath is correct.
Okay, excellent. Mr. DeYoung, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, excellent. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Edward DeYoung,
I, Edward DeYoung,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of
Commissioner for the Board of the VTMUA
Commissioner of the Board of the VTMUA
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. You're
Thank you.
official. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Okay. Let's open the meeting to the public.
Roll call. We need a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we need a roll call of members and professionals.
Okay, Paul Kearney,
Present.
Dave McDermott,
Here.
Kristen Wheaton,
Present.
Andrew Pittsburgh,
Present.
Edward Snook,
Present.
Scott Galway,
Here.
and Ed Young.
Here, present.
For professionals, we have Don Albright, Administrator CFO, Howard Leisure, Licensed Operator, Rich Wenner, MUA Attorney, Steve Benoski, Engineer, Rob Bignich, the Auditor, and myself, Jacqueline McCabe, the Recording Secretary.
Very good. Now we'll open the meeting to the public for agenda items only. Have any,
Need a motion in a second.
make a motion?
Motion open to public?
Need a second?
second.
Dave?
Yes,
Okay.
second by Dave McDermott.
Okay, I do have people raising their hand. I'll start first with Mike Fury.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. I just wanted to first congratulate Ed DeYoung and Ed Schnook for their appointments. Good luck on the MUA. And for the rest of the MUA, I miss you all, but I'm still going to be hopefully try to be involved, being at that as I'm a member of the council. So I just wanted to mention that. Obviously, I'm still interested in what's going on with the MUA. I do consider it one of the more important issues for the township. I saw on the agenda, just correct me if I'm wrong, are rates on the agenda?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I just wanted to mention when I first joined the MUA approximately about a year and a half ago, even at my first meeting, one of the things I said, and I still stand by the statement today was the same as when I joined the MUA, that if I was ever a member of the MUA, I would never support any kind of rate increases. And I'll tell you the reason why. And I still have that same position, even, as a member of the township council. And the reasons why is right now, the residential and the commercial properties that are on the sewer system, they pay extraordinary rates as it is. And these are unsustainable rates, and something that these, residents and commercial properties cannot afford. We all know that 2023 is coming, and there's going to be increases in the debt payments, and it should not be on the backs of the ratepayers. So I urge all of you to think long and hard and debate this, whether is the right thing to do. It is a tough decision. I don't envy anybody's you have to make a tough decision about the rates, but I just want to go on record as still that I do not support any kind of rate increases. With that being said, as I said, I'm gonna remain positive. Being a member of the council, we have a discussion item on Monday's meeting at the town council, and I'm urging the present council to consider quarterly meetings with the MUA, and to continue to work hand in hand with the MUA on what I think is the most important issue for the township. So hopefully you still all support that, and we want to work together and try to solve this very complex problem. So thanks a lot for letting me speak.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, 1 second, please. Okay, I also have Jesse Palladini.
A couple of things. First, I want to say, Ed Snook, welcome back. It's great to see you on there again. You did a good job on the MUA the first time, and I'm very happy to see you there. And by the way, as for any appointment that expires next month, that's why they have an amendment on the agenda Monday night to fix that. Ed DeYoung, you're a wonderful candidate for the MUA. You were a great person on the BOE. You were great on Vernon's EDAC, and I see you've gone back on that. God only knows why you want to subject yourself to that, but okay, you're a welcome addition to that too.
Thank you.
Mike Fury, you're not on the MUA.
Just Ms. Palladini, these are comments directed to the board for agenda items. These are not comments directed towards members.
Well, he just made a statement that I want to address.
Well, this is not the appropriate time to address it, ma'am.
So you're saying,
unless
are you saying I have to wait to the end of the meeting to address it?
Ms. Palladini, can I finish, please? If you are going to address,
but okay, go ahead.
If you're going to address the sewer rates, which is what Mr. Fury spoke on, then that would be appropriate. However, I caution you about calling out and directing your comments against Mr. Fury personally. If you want to comment on the subject of sewer rates, that is of course appropriate.
Well, I can comment on Mr. Fury personally if I feel like it, but I'll wait at the end of the meeting to do that. But I want to ask you, I have something very significant to say about the sewer area. Is it appropriate to discuss it now, or is that something that should wait till the end as well?
You mean the study regarding the expanded sewer service area, ma'am?
It's about the sewer service area, yes.
Yeah, I
It's
think-
not specifically on your agenda, and
Right.
that's why I'm asking if you'd
Right.
rather I wait to the end.
I would, I appreciate that. It keeps the
No
agenda.
No
Thank you.
problem. Okay. That's it. I'm sorry. That's it.
Thank you.
I do not, was Ms. Palladini's hand is raised again? Was there anything else?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Okay, it was still raised.
Okay.
I do not have anybody else raising their hand, and I did not receive any correspondence.
Seeing there's no one present here stepping up. We want to make a motion to close the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
Motion to close the meeting to public.
Motion made by Andy Pixter. Need a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dave.
And
Dermot.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Go to approval of minutes. The meeting of 12/16/21. Has everybody got a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Who would like to make a motion to approve minutes from 12/16/21?
Motion to approve meeting minutes from 12/16/21.
Motion by Andy Pixter, second.
Second.
It has to be, who do you have?
So it's either Paul, Andy, Kristen, or Dave. That's all that can vote.
Second,
I'll second it.
seconded by Dave McDermott. Roll call.
Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Dave McDermott.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the executive meeting minutes of 6/3/21. Can you make a motion?
Motion to approve executive meeting minutes for 6/3/21.
Motion made by Andy Pixter, second.
It can only be you or Dave.
I'll second it.
Okay, Dave McDermott,
Yeah.
seconded. Roll call.
Okay. Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
and Scott Galway.
Yes.
Motion to approve the executive minutes from 8/19/21. Somebody make a motion?
You, Dave, or Scott?
That's what?
It's Paul, Andrew, Dave, or Scott. So we could-
Motion to approve meeting minutes, executive meeting minutes.
Motion by Andy.
I'll
Second,
second that motion.
second by Dave.
Okay, Paul
Does-
Kearney,
Discussion, please.
Sure.
I realize I wasn't at the meeting, but there is a sentence that seems that it is nonsensical or unclear. In the third paragraph, the third sentence, it starts with additionally.
We will adjust that. I think the best way to do this, because these are not open yet, public, is to adjust this, and then we'll hold off on a vote for the August 19th executive session, and we'll do that at the next meeting.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the September 2nd.
which would only be Paul, Dave, or Scott.
Okay, motion to approve the executive minutes from 9/2/21.
I will second that motion.
Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Scott Galway. Scott Galway?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Paul. Yes, yes, I agree.
Okay.
Motion to approve the executive minutes from 10/21/21. Somebody want to make a motion?
Andrew, Dave, Kristen, or Scott.
Motion
Make-
to, good, Kristen.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of October 21 executive session.
You get a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Andy.
Okay. Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Scott Galloway.
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of 12/16/21. Motion, somebody make a motion?
I'll make
Make-
that motion.
Motion by Dave,
Second.
seconded by Kristen.
Okay. Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Dave McDermott.
Yes.
Okay, move on to resolutions. Resolution 22-01, approving EDU calculations for 310 Route 94.
Yeah, so just real quick, this is for the old Highlands Bank building. This is for the urgent care that's going to be moving from where they're currently located at Lakeland, where they had a short-term lease into the Highlands Bank. They're taking that over, making that whole thing their urgent care.
Okay,
Do you know what the count was on the EDU before this change? That's that question.
I knew that you were gonna ask that question and I totally left it in my office, so I apologize. I will get you that information. But this is I believe it's less, definitely less than 4.25. Yeah.
Steve has an idea what it was beforehand.
I'd be guessing, Andy. I agree with Donnell that I believe it went up. Basically, the way the building was treated is that about half the first floor is being converted. The other second half, the other half of the first floor is not being converted, and the second floor is being left alone. So those portions that are not being converted were looked at as regular office space, while the portion that's being converted, it was reviewed as, I forget the exact category, but it's based on the number of beds. So we use the number of rooms they had.
You're saying that it is an increase from what it was before, and you can give me the numbers.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Is there a date that that's going to be effective, or that they're looking at an estimated target?
So usually when we will approve the EDUs, we'll let them know that that's been approved, and then we work with the building department as far as their approvals for when they can move in. And once they get a CO, then we start billing for that amount.
Okay.
Is it possible for these types of approvals to include a block and lot in addition to the street address?
Yes, we can do that.
I would recommend that for the future. I wasn't sure where 310 was, and when I Googled it, it shows me this building, but it says that it's 306 Route 94.
Okay.
So yeah, I assume 310 is the right address and Google's wrong, but yeah, we just want to make sure that we're approving the right location.
Yes.
Any other discussion on this? Okay, let's make a motion to approve resolution 22-01, approving the EDU calculations for 310 Route 94. Somebody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 2201.
Motion made by Andy, and second,
I'll second it.
seconded by Dave. Roll call,
Paul Kearney,
yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
and Edward Snook.
Yes.
Resolution 22-02, authorizing employment contract with Kaiser Reyes as sewer repairer.
Yes, so we did have another one of our sewer repairers give notice, so he's no longer, he ended end of last week. So we had some interviews, and Kazel was our choice, so we're moving forward, and he would be starting on Monday.
This coming Monday?
Yes.
All right,
So that gives us 2 sewer repair people on our our payroll again.
Yes,
Okay, because we have, can't remember the gentleman's first name.
Deshawn,
Dejan.
Mhm.
And he's been on about a month.
about a month. Yeah.
Very good. Good.
Anybody else have any comments? No other comments? To approve the resolution 2202, authorizing employment contract with Kaiser Reyes. Can you a
Make that motion.
The motion, second,
I'll second it.
seconded by Dave. Roll call, please.
Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Moving along. Rate hearing and 2022 budget approval. Rate hearing. Donna?
Okay, so we're gonna open up, we just need a motion and a second to open up for the public hearing for the rates. The rates this year, as introduced with the budget, was a 2% increase as discussed at the last meeting. So the annual increase moves from $28.30 up from $14.15 was our annual rate. So our total annual rate for 2022 will be $1,443.30 per EDU. We just need a motion.
Make a motion to open the meeting to the public for the rate hearing only. Can you make a motion, please?
Motion to open the public, the rate hearing.
Motion by Andy, second,
Second.
seconded by Kristen. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody raising their hand?
I do have somebody raising their hand, Jesse Palladini.
Just a clarification, it would be good if you would put the rates on the actual agenda. You said that it was $1,443.30 per EDU. Yes,
So the rate per EDU is $1,443.30. And I believe that the resolution is on the website.
oh, all right.
If it's not, we'll make sure that that's updated because that should have been on there.
22.
No problem, I didn't know that. And you said that's a 2% increase?
Yes.
Okay, not bad. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I do not have anyone else.
Seeing nobody else, I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting to the public for the rate hearing. Motion, please.
Motion to close rate hearing.
Motion by Andy, second,
Second.
seconded by Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Short discussion, just for a refresher, especially for our new members here. We took the discussion, the last meeting about this, because when we looked at the increase from SCUMA that we were handed to this year, it was over 5%, if I'm correct,
This is 3%.
was 3%.
Yes, 3%. Mhm.
But it affected our budget by over 5%.
Our total budget had an increase of 5%, right?
So that's why we said we would love to hold this way. And I know there was some comment regarding trying to hold this rate increase, but we had to move it a little bit because we're taking an increase. So we said we're going to split it with the users at this point. And as we make, hopefully in the future, some cost savings in some way that we may be able to get to, hopefully we won't have to do this again next year.
Yeah, I think, ultimately, we're looking at the 2023, everyone talks about 2023, with the large SCUMA increase going from, right now, we're paying $1 million in debt service. Just the portion, one portion of our bill to SCUMA is debt service. It's going from $1 million to 1.5 next year. Yes, yeah.
And that will go on till what year?
Oh, I know that we finished paying them in 2039, but I believe that 1.5 goes for 12 years.
12 years.
Or 2022.
Yeah.
Then it increases again.
Right. And again, that's just a portion of our bill. Right? It's the largest portion of our bill, but it's the portion of our bill.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other comments? No. Okay. Resolution number 2203, 2022 rate adoption. Motion to approve.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Chris. I had some questions on the authority budget message and analysis sheet. That's page 38 of our packet. As I understand from the first page, we are not using our net position to offset our budget, our proposed budget. So item A, if you're on the same page as me, Danelle or
I'm sorry,
Rich.
yeah, I do have the budget message and analysis, and I'm gonna ask Rob to come on here because when you're saying that we're not using that position, we are using that position. So
Okay, so so let me back up then in the proposed, let's see. On page 29 of our package, which is the 2020 adopted budget resolution, cover page, the fourth whereas says, whereas the capital budget is presented for adoption reflects total capital appropriations of 200,000 and total unrestricted net position plan to be utilized of $0, total other sources of 200,000.
right, that's the capital budget. So there's two portions of the budget. You have your operating budget and then you have a capital budget, right? So our capital budget are for those specific projects that we have planned for next year. And then we have the regular operations budget. So we're using the net position to offset our operations budget, not the capital budget.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, thanks for that clarification.
Yep.
I thought it was all kind of rolled into one.
That's okay. And thank you for clarifying because I'm like, I don't know where that sees that we're not using that position.
Okay.
It's about 85,000 we're using.
Yeah.
Okay, so that answers my question back on page 38 of the package for the budget message. That was paragraph A that answered that question there. There's item C on the budget message states that increased fringe benefits for cost of providing services personnel 63.8% are due to increased cost in disability and unemployment insurance as the MUA is not a reimbursable employer.
Yes.
If this was a township utility as opposed to an MUA, would we see the same kind of an increase? Would we be a reimbursable employer?
Right. So it was just how it was budgeted last year. We took on additional employees last year, so we didn't budget for the disability and insurance amounts. And also the unemployment insurance amounts are different. So every township is different. I'm assuming, and Rob could probably speak to this, it could be that every authority is different. You can choose to be a reimbursable employer or not reimbursable employer. For example, Vernon Township is a reimbursable employer. So what happens is the township does not pay in towards disability or, well, that's separate, doesn't pay insurance towards unemployment benefits. But when someone goes on unemployment, the state bills us directly and we pay for the full amount.
I see.
In the case of the authority, at the time that this was decided, there was one employee. So we decided to go the route of paying the unemployment insurance. We also decided to go the route of providing disability insurance. And that's just what was decided when the authority was established. So we do have to pay amounts of, obviously the insurance portions for the employer share that go into that every year.
Okay, thank you. And then on the next page, page N1 or page 39 of our package, the very bottom, it says in paragraph 6 for the budget message, it says rates are staying the same.
This is the existing rate. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, and on the final adopted one, that would obviously be changed to include the new rate schedule for the 2% increase.
Isn't this the resolution that we're adopting now?
Correct.
This was the original, no, this is the original, you're looking at the original budget message and analysis, so that would need to be changed with the change in the rate change that we made between the introduction and now.
Okay, all right. So this is not the final message. Okay,
Yes.
so that concludes my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Anybody else?
No message on chapter 6 will be noted that will either be deleted or changed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll take care of that. Did we get a motion in a second?
No,
for
we did
that
not.
Resolution.
We need a
Okay.
motion in a second for 2203.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve resolution 22-3, rate adoption. We make a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 2203.
Motion by Andy. Second, please.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kristen. Roll call.
Okay, Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Edward Snook,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton.
Yes.
C. Resolution 2204, 2022 budget adoption.
I don't know. There were a lot of questions I just answered. If anyone has any other questions or any items to discuss, you can feel free to.
Okay, so anybody got any questions?
Hang on, I gotta get to that one.
Motion to approve resolution 2204, 2022 budget adoption. Motion, please.
Bear with me 1 moment, I'm trying to get to that page. Good. That's all my numbers. Okay, motion to approve resolution 2204.
Yes. Motion by Andy.
I'll
Second,
second
please.
the motion.
Seconded by Dave. Roll call.
Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Edward Snook,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Time for the administrator update.
Yes,
Donnell.
yes. Oh, I'm next. Okay, so an update on pump station 2. We are still rating review on the specifications from the DEP for pump station 2. So that's still in review with them. Once that's approved, we can start to move forward. But I know they are having issues at the state with COVID and reduced hours.
Yeah, they're all back
and
working at home
split-
again, so.
Split schedules, right? So I know it's taking a little bit of time, but I know James and Steve are on top of that. Our sewer service area mapping, I did update, I sent you guys the updated sewer service area maps with the ones that will be sent to the DEP for the expansion, which we've been working on, right? But with the state designated planning area determining the approved sewer service area, we did update those maps to reflect those changes. Some of the previously requested areas are now incorporated into the map that we attached. So if anyone has questions about those, we can discuss that. But this is something we've been working on for a while, and it kind of was in limbo with the state designated planning area. So once that was done, James and Steve worked on getting those maps updated.
Now with the updates, did we address all of the DEP's concerns with this ESA section?
So a lot of them are addressed. There's very small area. I don't have these printed in color, but there's a couple areas on the map that are still, we're still requesting they be included but they were not included in the town center. But they were previously, requested by the DEP by us. And it is more of in a town center area. It's not on the outskirts like the other ones. The other ones, they're the same area over by McAfee that we've requested in the past that were carved out. And I know the DEP has already, we've already been through that with them. And they seem to be okay with those. So we're hoping that this goes smoother and a little bit faster, considering that it's state designated area. They shouldn't really be able to tear apart the existing sewer service area anymore.
I mean, this has been going on for years and years, and I know the DEP keeps going this way, that way, and then they change. the
Right.
group, And then it goes this, it turns around and it's just like, I want to get this done.
Yeah.
And We haven't had an approved sewer service map since when?
Since the original one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we can get it done.
Capital items. So capital items that we have for 2022 include addressing the drainage ditches near pump station 1. We've talked about that. There's 3 of them. We're going to be addressing a couple of those. But we're going to have to wait until springtime when it's cleared out. There's no snow, and we're going to have the DPW clear the actual sewer line. They've been clearing like a pathway, which is probably more easily traversed, but we want to clear over the actual sewer line. So we see, just to make sure that we're addressing how we need to be addressed with the drainage ditches. Pump station 3, we've been working on the building repair or replacement of the building that's at pump station 3. We've had a couple of vendors come out and give us quotes for basically a rehab of that building. So we haven't heard back from one of those companies, but we will see where that lands in the next couple of months and try and really get that nailed down. The force main evaluation. I know, Steve, I apologize. I've not reached out to you about this. But I believe it's probably the best idea to go ahead and do a force main evaluation along the railroad. I know that we need to discuss with Steve about how we want to address this evaluation, whether that includes like installing an air release valve on that. Because right now we can't really assess the interior of that line. We do walk the line. We've done it twice now in the past year. But I think it's important that we have some sort of interior look on it. So I'll work with Dewberry on that. Also, we're going to be consistent with replacing our pumps. We do have a large one that we're going to order for a backup pump for one of the larger pump stations. We already have one for pump station 2, but we really should have one for pump station 3. We're also going to order another 2 smaller ones for the lift stations to have as additional backups in addition to the ones we already have right now. I did speak with Howie. He's on too. He'll give his update too. But we had sorry, just real quick. He had Jem come out and look at the electrical at pump station 3, because that would obviously affect, if we are going to replace the entire building, we would have to do something about the electrical that's there, the whole panel. He also said that we could replace the valves at in the manhole at pump station 3, since they're very old. So that might be a good project that I didn't have on my list. He just updated me recently about that. I think that might be a good idea to put on the list too. Regarding finance, obviously, we just passed our 2022 budget. Thank you. That's from the CFO side of me. I appreciate that. It does raise rates 2%, but that's obviously in anticipation, knowing that we're going to have a massive SCUMA bill next year. So the board has been really good financially with keeping tabs on expenses, passing budgets and sticking to those budgets and saving money where we can. And, I appreciate that as a CFO. I also wanted to update the board, and I did include a copy of the email that we received from the state regarding the new state regulations that passed regarding sewer bills. And this is the first time that it's really affecting us as the authority. It's affected water in the past, but now it's affecting the sewer. So essentially all past amounts from 2020 forward, it was supposed to affect, but since we already sold the 2020 items that were past due at the tax sale, since they were already sold at tax sale, it doesn't affect those. It's just moving forward. So any outstanding balances for 2021 forward are affected. Any ratepayers who owe principal amounts that were due in 2021 have been given an extended grace period through March 15th of 2022. There's information on the website. I encourage people, if they want to, if they have past due amounts, they can go on the website and check out the process of what they can do to move forward in case anyone's having issues paying their past due amounts.
So that's from 2021 forward. So do we have a number or any people or companies or users that are delinquent longer than that?
Delinquent longer than 2021? They were sold at tax sale. I would have to get the list on what was sold at tax sale and what was actually purchased as outside liens. What happens is if you have, let's say, $500 in a sewer bill that you didn't pay from 2020, it goes to tax sale just like taxes do, right? And hopefully from the MUA side, somebody on the outside buys that lien, the MUA kind of becomes whole, but a lien is put on that property for the sewer lien, right? And then someone has to pay off that lien holder, we have to be notified, and that's right, and that's done and over with. If someone does not purchase that lien, however, it's basically on the MUA, it just sits on our accounts receivable. So that's how that's handled, but I can get you the details if there were any that were kind of still on our AR for that. But we do have outstanding amounts, some large ones from 2021. And we're not able to make it clear to the board members, we're not able to receive interest or penalties on those amounts
Ever, or because of this?
because of this.
Until March 15th.
Until March, yes, 15th.
Okay.
And then just so everybody's clear on that front, to the extent there are unpaid bills as of March 15th, we have to offer a plan. We can't just then go ahead and we can't take action to enforce it as a lien prior to first offering the property owner the chance to repay.
And that's it for me. If anyone has any
Can I
questions.
just make one comment, and this will go into when we talk about the capital projects, as we did last year, we'll have the capitals list, and this way we can do the check off with it?
Yep.
Perfect. The next meeting, we'll be able to see the list of items that you want to include for the projects. Perfect. Thank you.
And there are fewer on this list. They're just bigger ticket items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, fixing these items that have been sitting for years, it's
Right.
one way to keep the cost down.
Right.
Because then we don't have emergency callouts.
Any other comments on administrator report? Oh, okay. Let's move along to the license operator report. Howie?
Can you hear us?
Howie?
Howie, can you hear us? Is he
He's
muted?
not- He's not.
He's on there.
Howie?
Mute yourself.
He's having issues.
Maybe we stepped away, want to go to an engineer report and then
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
Howie?
let's do that.
All right, let's pass on Howie for now. We'll come back to him when he gets reconnected. Let's go to engineer report.
Hi, everyone. I think Donnell hit on the major points. Certainly any questions, let me know. PS2, we are going through, we are obtaining all the approvals from iBank now. We expect to receive what is called the environmental, they call it the EDD, the environmental decision document. So as much as we, permitted through NJDEP, now we're kind of having to go through iBank. So we expect to get the environmental decision document, hopefully any day now. That's what Donnell referenced before. And that would be allow us to move forward to the next step. A next step there that has taken longer than we were, let me say, hoping for. But we think that we are days away from receiving that. So that'll be another significant milestone there. I'm still hoping that we will be able to get that all wrapped up. Or I shouldn't say still. I am now hoping that we will be able to get that all wrapped up in February and be ready to move forward with the bid. Maybe towards the end of February as opposed to the beginning of February, but I expect by the next February meeting that will more or less be ready to bid once we get through that next step with iBank. What was I going to say? So Donnell spoke about the pump station 1 in the ditches there, the additional clearing that will be done there. Some more to come on that in the spring. Let me make sure I'm calling up the report, so I'm hitting on all the major topics. We completed the EDU calculation as was discussed previously. Hang on a second here, I'm opening this up. Pump station 2 sewer service area mapping that was updated. Donnell hit on that. easement, we talked to pump station 1, 310 Route 94 application for sewer service allocation, EDU calculation, we talked about that. NJDOT Route 94 Pleasant Valley to Maple Grange. We haven't really had to do anything in that regards, but we did, I believe, executed agreements with the DOT were received either last week or in the last couple of days. And that essentially, among other things, that allows the MUA to bill the DOT for any work they have in conjunction with that project. That's kind of one of the main purposes of getting that agreement in place. On the water, we forwarded, really documents that were ready to bid a few weeks ago. The one whole, and I know Corey and HPA completed their review last week. They didn't have much of substance to discuss on it. The one kind of sticking point right now is the traffic control on 515 by the Acme. And what we initially tried to get approved by the county, we tried to essentially mimic what they're doing for the paving project, and they didn't find that to be acceptable. So we kind of modified things around a little bit where the pipe was going, and we think we have a acceptable solution now to allow traffic through there while the construction is ongoing.
Great. I don't have
Got
it.
it. Is Howie back?
Yes.
Back to the license operator report, Howie.
He's gonna do it again. There he is.
There's Howie. You're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, he's not on mute though.
Can't
Guys,
hear
it's
you.
not working. Can you click panelists?
No sound coming through.
Weird.
I think it's his microphone's off on his side.
I don't know. That's weird. It's not working.
Working on it.
You had to call in IT, obviously.
Yeah.
So weird because like it's not muted on our side at all.
Maybe it's muted on his side.
No. He's like, no.
Microphone plugged in. Get some semaphore flags.
May I make a suggestion? Howie, disconnect, come dial back in.
Yep, that might work.
While he-
If we want, I mean, if you want, you can open, do you want to move on and then we can go back to his report?
You can do that too.
Yeah.
All right, while we're waiting for Harry to get reconnected, get open to the public for items not on the agenda. So make a motion to open the meeting to public items not on the agenda. Have a motion, please.
Motion to open the public for public comment.
Motion by Andy. Have a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Dave.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I do have Jessie Palladini raising her hand.
Hello again. What I wanted to say briefly to Mike Fury earlier was that under our form of government, he has absolutely no authority whatsoever to engage as a council member with the MUA. He could call in or attend all he'd like and speak as a member of the public. Excuse me, but he has no authority and there is no provision for him to do so. So, has the DEP commented yet on the expansion plan for the sewer service area at all? Have you gotten any comment back from them?
Yes, good answer.
We've had any conversations and comments from the DEP regarding the original sewer service expansion requests. It has been like
Multiple.
this has been going on for years though, too. So yeah, there's been comments back.
Anything official yet? You know, like take this out, put that in, that sort of thing?
I think I think they were more like fluid conversations that the current engineer and the prior engineer had with the DEP.
All right.
Regarding what was going to be acceptable and what wasn't going to be acceptable.
Okay, that's fine. I'll probably be putting in an Oprah for some of them. Donnell, this is not personal. I think you do a good job as a CFO. I think you were a good find for Vernon, but I personally think that you're being the administrator and the town CFO is a conflict of interest. And I'm just going to leave that at that and not say any more about it. But here's what I want to say to you tonight. And it's very, very disturbing. And I would not have said it prior to tonight, but now you've got two new members and I trust those two new members and I respect them greatly. And here's what I want to say. Prior to Harry Shortway chasing Executive Director John Serbo out of his job for fictitious reasons, and that whole thing that he did in January 2020, where he accused the MUA of all kinds of things, false things, which led to the resignation of John Perry and Ed Seeger, two very good members, because they just didn't want to deal with it. Prior to that, you might recall that I was the recording secretary for the MUA for 8 years. I have all the MUA records from the inception of the MUA. I have all the executive session minutes. I have all of the recordings. I have all of the documents. Basically, I have everything. So Ed Snook, I do believe you were on the MUA at that time, what I'm about to bring up now. And that is that on the particular day and time that the sewer service area map and proposed expansion was created and presented to the MUA by Serena Raup, the engineer at the time. It's in the minutes. Everything I'm telling you is in the minutes. Seren presented this large 11 by 17 colored map to them and handed one out to each member. And I got up and I said, Seren, may I please have a copy for my records as well? And she gave me my copy. Now, Mike Fury has told so many false things to the public concerning the DPW property, the Baldwin property, 8-20 Black Creek Drive, so many false things, all of which were proven to be false. And one of those false things was that the Baldwin property was never in the sewer service area, and it could never, ever be developed because there's Bobcat there, and the DEP documented that there's Bobcat there. Well, guess what? I have been putting Oprah requests in for almost 1 year now, asking for copies of that map that was sent to the DEP with the original expansion plan. 1 year I've been asking for it. And I keep getting, there is nothing. We have nothing else. I get all kinds of maps and documents and things, but I don't get that map. I'm not necessarily blaming Donnell, because maybe it genuinely does not exist in the MUA office, but I've been asking for it and I don't get it. Finally, I put all the cards on the table and I sent an email to Donnell and I said, here is the date, here is the map, here's when it was adopted, here's when it was discussed. 11 by 17 color map. And guess what, folks? The Baldwin property is in the sewer service area, and it is also in the proposed sewer expansion area. And of course, you all know that it's right next to the pump station. So of course, anything down there could be sewered. And Ed, you will probably remember this because I'm 99.9% certain you were there at that meeting. And I believe that I resigned as secretary before your term was up. So here's what I'm saying to you folks. This is very serious. That map does not exist allegedly because I can't get it through Oprah. And yet, guess what? I have it. And if you wanted me to share my screen, I'd plaster it all over. Where is that map? Why did the sewer service area change when Mike Fury got on the MUA? Because prior to that, that map existed. Seren handed it out. And that was the night that she said, this is the map that is going to the DEP with the expansion plan. But somehow, mysteriously, that map has disappeared and that property has come out of the sewer service area. The Economic Development Commission urged the council not to purchase that Baldwin property, not to take it out of the commercial zone, not to take it off the tax rolls, because it was valued by 3 different appraisers as valuable commercially zoned property. But since the departure of John Serbo, since the departure of Ed Snook, and with the onset of Mike Fury, that map has disappeared. I'm not going to give you that map. I'm going to hold on to that map until such time that I can present it to the DEP and the new council. But I urge you to consider what I'm saying, folks. Oprah is the law. When I Oprah something and I give very specifics, date, time, who created the map, when it was adopted, when it was approved, I expect that that map should exist in the MUA office and I should be able to get it. Very big problem you have, folks. That's the end of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
At this time, I do not have anyone else.
Motion to close the public comment.
See no one else? Make the motion to close to the public for items not on the agenda.
Motion to
Motion
close.
made by Andy. The second, please.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, time for commissioners' comments. Let's start with Christine. Oh, how you back?
Yeah.
Oh, we still can't hear you.
Still can't hear you. Oh, I guess that's,
Okay.
I guess we will not have a licensed operator report this evening. It's in your packet. And look it over. Does anybody look it over? Well, we can't ask them questions anyway, so,
Right.
all right, so we'll have to do a double next month. So let's move on to the commissioner's comments. Let's start with Dave McDermott.
Good luck to our new employee. And Paul, you ran a real smooth meeting. And
I'm trying.
you're doing well, man. You're doing well. It's not always easy. And we, of course, the DEP is a stumbling block again for us. I just hope we can get past this in a reasonable amount of time and get going here on Pump Station 2. That's it for me.
Thank you, Dave. Andy?
First of all, welcome again to our newest members. Look forward to working with you, and hopefully we can get a lot of activity and continue to bring this up. One of the charters that we have on our site now, which is the water, has moved over to the town. Do we want to take that off or keep it on our website?
I think what might, and I thought about this earlier, we have our reorg meeting in February. Maybe we can address everything and do new charters in February.
Okay, very good. And regarding the rates, I mean, I was very apprehensive. We had quite a discussion. This rate increase of 2% was just I hate to put more burden on our rate users, but we're at this point where it's like we didn't give it all, and we've kind of shared that. And I know there's going to be some feedback from some of our rate users when they get their bill, but that goes into effect in what, the second quarter now?
That's the first quarter.
First quarter. Okay, very good. And that's all I have right now. I think we're moving along. Danelle, thank you for all the financial work, and Jackie, and all the input that you're bringing, and you get the meeting minutes and agendas out to us. So thanks, and look forward to a refreshing start for 2022, and let's get more done and save more money.
Okay, thank you. Kristen?
I didn't have any comments this evening, except just to say welcome back, Ed, and welcome back, Ed Snook, and welcome Ed DeYoung. I guess hearing some of the public comments, I do feel a need to respond. I was here for the removal of John Skirbo. They were for personnel reasons. They were serious personnel reasons, and it had nothing to do with board members or members of the council. They were personnel reasons. I was here when John Perry resigned. I know why he resigned. It was for personal reasons. I was here when Ed Seeger resigned. He also resigned for personal reasons that had nothing to do with members of the board or members of the council. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Scott?
Yes, thanks. So I apologize. I was unable to make the meeting in December. So I wanted to congratulate Paul and Andy on your promotions and appointments, and also to welcome the two new eds to the committee as well, and look forward to a good 2022. I don't have any additional comments based on the packet or the minute notes from the December meeting. So I'm good for today. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Ed DeYoung, do you have any comments?
I've got nothing tonight, just learning a lot.
Okay, thank you. Ed Snook?
It looks like a lot of things that I worked on in my previous term is still being worked on, so I should get up to speed on that. Hopefully, before I leave this time, we can have some of them finalized. And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say that what Kristen said, I'm going to back her up on. John Skirbo was a personnel issue.
And Paul,
It-
Mr. Chair,
excuse me?
this is Rich. Sorry for jumping in. I just want to caution the board about speaking about Mr. Skirbo, even though he's no
Yes,
longer. an employee.
I'm gonna measure my words very carefully.
Thank you.
And because it was personnel issues, I'm not gonna give any more than that. I just want to say that it did not come from anywhere outside of the MUA board in that regard. I can also back up what Kristen said about John Perry specifically. I know John a long time. I spoke with him personally when he left. He did not leave due to any pressures from outside of the MUA. It was personal. He was in the midst of changing jobs and other things, and that is why he left. I'm not going to get any further into that, but I just want to make it clear that people did not leave because of outside pressures from, the council or mayor or anybody else for that matter. So what Kristen said was 100% accurate. As for the plans, sewer service area plans, and the DEP, I know from my day-to-day work, and especially during this COVID time, the DEP, either understandably or not understandably, could be a matter of opinion. They've not been working from the offices. They've been working from home. I'm sure that makes what they have to do difficult at best. And they are moving at a slower pace than most people would like, especially when there's projects that are going on. So any delays due to that, it's really out of our hands. It's out of our hands at that point. So, once they get us what we need, then we can move forward. But when it's not in our hands, there's really not much we can do with it at that point in time. We can't push them any faster than they want to go. Only other thing, which is it's a small thing, but I'm gonna bring it up every meeting until it happens. In the past, we gave recognition to past members. Ed is back now, so we may have to skip that one. But there were always thank you, plaques or whatever for people who served on this board. And mentioning John Perry and other people, they should be recognized for that. And I'd like to just see a little motion in that. It's a very small thing, but I think people put time in and they should get some kind of recognition and a thank you from us for what they've done for the town and for the MUA.
Just to let you know on that, we did find something that we're gonna do.
Okay,
We
good.
just had to wait for the budget to pass so we could put in our
Oh,
purchase orders.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, we could invite them down here in person and present them to it if they want to come down. That would be up to them.
Critical, we got a budget now.
Yeah, but other than that, I really don't have any other comments this evening. I asked a couple questions earlier that were already answered, so I'm pretty good.
Okay.
So at this point in time, I'd like to make a motion, go to executive session, resolution 2205, motion to approve a resolution 2205 and enter an executive session for purposes of litigation. Somebody make a motion, please.
I'll make a motion, go to executive session.
Motion made by Dave. Second, please.
Second.
Seconded by Kristen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we do need a roll call before we go in.
Yep. Paul Carney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Ed Snook,
Yes.
Scott Galloway,
Yes.
Ed Young.
Yes.
Okay.
We should have noted that on the, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe Harry's audio will come back on.
Are we waiting on Rich?
I think we have.
We don't have to. We can just do it.
All right, Rich is here.
Go ahead.
Everyone's here?
Yeah, we don't need the attorney. Go ahead.
Okay.
We need a motion to reconvene
I'd
though.
like to make a motion to reconvene the regular meeting.
Motion to reconvene.
I'll
Second,
second.
please.
All in
Just like to say one,
All in favor?
favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to say this is my second time running this meeting and I missed a step, so my apologies to everyone. Like to, resolution number 2205, go into executive session for purposes of litigation. No actions will be taken at this meeting.
Motion to go into executive session.
Motion made by Andy. Is
Second that motion?
that Dave?
Yes.
Okay, seconded by Dave.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Paul Kearney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Kristen Wheaton,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Ed Snook,
Yes.
Scott Galway,
Yes.
Ed DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then, okay, that's it, yeah.
Thank you.
God, it's cold in here.
It's cold in here?
Yeah.
Go outside.
Don't hit the fan, man.
Yeah, I know. I was just laughing about that. I said, geez. 1,000.
That's why I bring that.
Voice up.
Done.
I think everybody's here. Yep, everyone's on.
Okay.
Dave, did you paint the room?
Yeah. I didn't finish it though.
It's lovely.
I'm coming over for a beer to inspect.
That color does wonders for you. Okay. Ready? Make a motion to reconvene the regular meeting. Somebody make a motion, please.
Motion to reconvene.
Motion by
Second.
Andy, second,
I'll second it.
seconded by Dave. Roll call.
Paul Carney,
Yes.
Dave McDermott,
Yes.
Kristen
Here.
Wheaton,
Yes.
Andrew Pittsger,
Yes.
Ed Snook,
Yes.
Scott Galway,
Yes.
Ed DeYoung.
Yes.
Okay, we were in executive session for approximately 30 minutes, during which time we discussed two topics, one regarding litigation that's ongoing with SCUMA. No action was taken in regard to that matter. Also, one matter involving attorney-client privilege discussion. No action was taken in executive session, and no action is needed to be taken now other than a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Somebody make a motion, please.
Do we have to adjourn the executive?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
By Andy, second,
Second.
seconded by Kristen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Good night, all.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Oh.